Coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the rookie. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his second touchdown on the season. And the Raiders add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-7.
Tucker McCann set.
McCann's got it teed up. Here's Kareth White on the return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Return. The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all. They actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
1st down, Pittsburgh.
Flush to his right. And this is going to be incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. To throw again is Roethlisberger. He's going to launch this thing right downfield. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Chase Claypool, 33 yards. And the Steelers are able to make this a close game again. The fly route works for the TD Graham.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Well, this will make it into the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
At their own 21-yard line.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And down he takes it up to the 40. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run here with Coleman out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
49-yard line.
On play action, they'll throw. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. He'll look downfield for Waller. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I'm looking at this with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
And the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Towards Evan Coleman, incomplete. It's now 4th down.
And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. And this will be called officially a 66-yard attempt. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line.
At their own 13-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. Certainly not what they wanted out of the locker room here as they'll start defensively at the 40-yard line. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
He'll have a first down inside the 10. This will be caught inside the 10. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. And he's certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll hand it off now to Samuels. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Just to pick up a 3, but that is indeed enough.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run with Drake. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Roethlisberger with the pass complete to Claypool. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. An incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. Incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
3rd quarter from Southern Nevada. Here's a 2nd and 10. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 39. 12 yards there and a 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 39-yard line. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. Calling a pickup of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
They'll try and pound it in with Drake. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Kenyon Drake with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Steelers have now made this a 1-score game.
Well, let the natural light of today reflect that he has now gotten into the end zone 2 times.
Look at you. You little Ralph Waldo Emerson, is that his name?
Nah, it's just going with the meteorologist. Said it was a day game. I'm here.
Boswell good with the extra point. And they're within 7 now at 28-21.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will make it into the end zone. And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback.
Their own 25-yard line.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive.
They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Once again, it's Jacobs. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with this 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
A free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yo, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They will look to flush the memory of that pick 6 as we now have a brand new tie ball game here in the 4th quarter. Getting down to the good stuff. A nice little juke. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace it.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line. In pregame, get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Options galore here, 2nd and a few inches. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. The football comes out. Jacobs lost it. It looks like Steeler football. It is.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
The The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. He has enough for the first down on the keeper, a gain of 6. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. And he's got the hook up to Rhodes. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the draw play, Coleman. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
3 yards to go on 2nd down, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. Jumbo set. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And he'll get this pretty close to a first down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 22. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. From the gun, it's a handoff to Coleman. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. They're looking at a 2nd and 8 now from the 10. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders have taken the lead. He's got the hat trick now of rushing touchdowns. Also has his team the advantage.
And I'm looking at it 2 ways here. If I'm on defense, I don't care what they do now. I commit as many people as it takes to slowing him down running the football. Even if they want to hit me over the top on play action, I just don't let him beat me that way anymore. And if I'm him, I'm in the huddle calling the plays myself. I don't care what play call comes in. I tell my quarterback, guess what? You're handing it to me again.
And if I'm the quarterback, I'm saying, okay, that sounds good, right?
Smart quarterback.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
At the 35-yard line.
Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Now it's Roethlisberger. Able to hit his target, Claypool. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. When you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Here we go. Black 20. Look,
Now Roethlisberger on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. There he goes, left side. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a first and goal right at about the 6-yard line. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got it first and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown. Here's Jacobs. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Give him 3 on the gain there. Second and goal. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. This defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, break it the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's third and goal.
Third and goal.
They'll run it with Jacobs. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And the lead is up to 14.
Makes the score Raiders 42, Steelers 28.
McCann's got it teed up.
Made at the 25-yard line. The Steelers take over first and 10.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Third down. Today's final
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Las Vegas, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Denver Broncos next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.